Hello, listeners, and welcome to Spooky Time with Mike and Mindy.
Hiya, spookers.
Hi, everyone.
We just kept laughing for
We
no
kept
reason.
laughing, so I just, we powered through it. So, I don't know why, but every time she clicked record, I just laughed. So,
Yeah.
we got the giggles.
Yeah. Probably because we had such a fun weekend.
Probably because we did have such a fun weekend.
So what did we do first, Mike, that we want to talk about?
Grocery shopped?
No.
I'm kidding. Well, we went to, is it Baehmann's or Beeman's?
I'm not sure.
You'll need to forgive us. So there's a golf course, or I would say a driving range and mini golf, in Cedarburg.
Cedarburg, Wisconsin.
And they have Halloween night glow mini golf.
Yeah, they do.
Ooh.
Yeah, we went a few years ago, but during the day, because you can go during the day, non-glow, for a little bit cheaper, or you can go at night on Fridays and Saturdays with all the glow.
Mm-hmm.
So, we had to go again this year. Obviously.
Well, we talked about it, but we didn't really set a date to it.
Yeah.
And then, you've been feeling a little down recently, and, you were like, oh, I don't know what we're going to do tonight. I'm like, do you want to go mini golf? And that seemed to be the right thing to say.
Yeah.
Because it certainly turned things around, which I'm happy about. So,
yeah. The weather was kind of perfect all weekend, and so it just made sense.
Oddly warm, and by oddly warm, for those that don't live in the state of Wisconsin, we're talking like 60 degrees. Yeah. Which is oddly warm.
Yeah. So having a bonfire was like, I guess that's nice, but we don't really need it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So you mentioned there's a bonfire.
Yeah.
So you've got a bonfire going on, chairs sit around in it in like a circle. So.
Yeah, it was really kind of cool. So their mini golf course is small. It's the normal 18 holes, but this is like classic mini golf that's like on flat land, and like you can see all the tiny little bricks around the greens, and there's nothing like super crazy in this golf course. They're still difficult. I'm
sorry.
What?
Nothing super crazy?
What?
What about like the metal corkscrew type thing?
Well, when you get to like
and
hole
what about the
16,
covered bridge?
Yeah. So, but like...
And then what about all the ones you have to hit up the hill where there isn't like the little retainer divot, so at least it stays up there?
Yeah.
No, it just comes right back down again.
Yeah, that's true. But that starts at like hole like 14 to 18.
Oh, you meant it doesn't start off crazy at the start.
Yeah, there's like a progression.
It builds. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, so it was fun. You got to pick your color of glow ball.
Right, because the glow portion is the golf ball.
Yeah.
So you get to pick different colors of golf balls that glow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
And you were green, I was blue.
Yeah, and then they also had pink, and I don't know if they...
I don't know the rest of the colors, I just know they didn't have orange, which I thought was odd for Halloween.
Yeah, maybe orange just isn't available as a glow ball.
Maybe not.
I don't know. But it was cool because all you did was, like, take a regular white golf ball and you throw it onto the ground. It actually glows for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, there's like some kind of mechanism inside that reacts, upon force to light up.
Yeah.
And then it's set for a certain amount of time so it doesn't like burn out the battery, and you just toss it on the ground again to wake it up.
Yeah, and so they had a bonfire set up, and they had just like spooky decorations all throughout, like skulls here or there or rats, and it was just really adorable, super family friendly.
Yeah, super family friendly in the sense that there was Kids Bop music playing, so which is fine. Yeah, there were kids all over the place. They were having a great time. So
yeah, they really loved the holes at the end that were more difficult, with the like loop-de-loop thing and the bridge with the water.
Especially loved the bridge with the water because they just hit the ball into the water. And the cool thing, though, that I will agree, is that since your balls glow, if you hit it into the water, there's just like glowing in the water. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
That was pretty spooky. They should have actually just thrown some glow stuff in the water, but
that's okay.
Yeah.
A suggestion.
Yeah. But I had a ton of fun. It's something that I think anybody could just go do. I loved it.
Yeah, I would say there were some challenging holes towards the end, but they really do kind of ease you into it. Mm-hmm. First one is literally like shoot straight, and you got it.
Yeah.
One thing I will mention is that they didn't have any pars listed, so it was hard to know how you were doing.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't have any pars listed on the signs or even on
the cards,
the
the scorecards. Yeah, they didn't tell you what par it was, which is fine. That's a very minor critique, but as far as mini golf goes, pretty valid, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of used to expecting pars and stuff just to gauge how
most of the time they're doing. 3.
Yeah.
Mindy won. I know everyone was waiting for that.
I didn't really win, actually.
Mindy won.
We're just saying that I won.
You won by 5 strokes. That's what was written down.
It was wrong.
Okay, well, officially you won.
Okay.
Unofficially you can say you didn't.
Per the scorecard.
Per the scorecard.
I did take pictures, too, of a lot of the holes.
Yes,
so I'm going to
did.
work on trying to put together a YouTube video clip just so you guys can see kind of what everything looked like and how adorable it was. So that'll be on Spooky Time with Mike and Mindy on YouTube that you can go check that out there. I don't know if I'll have it up anytime soon, but just watch for it if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah. Overall thoughts?
Sure.
It was fun. I had a fun time. So when I was getting to, I guess you call, what do they call it? Just the station where you pay and you
when
pick
you're
up
returning your
when you first get there to pay the people and do it. Mindy was outside taking pictures and they were like, "Oh, date night tonight." I was like, "Yeah," and then they just started laughing because I didn't realize that it was very family oriented, so there's just lots of kids, which is fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
We were probably the only kidless couple.
We were indeed, which is fine. But yeah, they just thought that was really funny. Like, oh yeah, you're date night with all these crazy kids running around. I don't care. It's fine. I mean,
Mike and I have a good time no matter what.
Sometimes, and this is just a general statement about life. Sometimes the bad times, sometimes those are also good memories in retrospect, depending on, what it was.
Yeah.
As long as it was like a minor annoyance and not like an actual devastating event. If it was like, man, I can't believe our tire went flat. Oh, darn. And then you laugh about it afterwards.
I'm pretty sure for the rest of our lives, we're always going to reference the kid that could have ran around our hole, but instead chose to run down our golf hole that we were on, going, sorry, the entire time. And I was like,
green, yelling sorry, when I'm like, kid, you could have very clearly taken 2 feet to either side to run around the green and not run on the green, and then you wouldn't have needed to say sorry because you wouldn't have been on the green.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we're going to...
The fun choices that kids make, I swear.
So I'm pretty sure we're always going to reference that and look back on it and laugh and be like, what? Why would you just do that?
I get it. It's a straight path. Yeah. The straightest path between where he was and where he wanted to go was directly over our course.
Yeah.
But, could have just...
Yeah, could have not.
To the side. Just, a little bit. And then he wouldn't have had to say sorry.
But, kids were everywhere. It was fine. It was glowing. I loved all the spooky decor.
And here's the thing. You think, kids on a mini golf course, oh, great, you're going to get delayed. Actually, we weren't at all until the last hole.
Yeah.
The last one. But that one, it's like a covered bridge.
And there's no guardrail. The harder they are.
Right. It's a covered bridge, and there's no guardrails on the sides, and it goes right into the water.
Yep.
So, of course, that one's going to take a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this, though. Unlike most mini golf courses, or at least the ones I've been to, usually the last hole is how they get the ball back.
Yeah.
This one, not so much.
Yeah, there was no, You
got to walk it back.
There was no bucket system either. They could have built something underneath to collect them, but, It's a very simple course, but I love it. And I already can't wait to go back again next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those things where it's nice and close for us and fun and, I'd say, affordable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So should we talk about the other fun thing we did this weekend?
Well, sure. We can certainly talk about the other fun thing we did this weekend. Oh, the laundry?
No.
Oh, sorry.
You're the worst at this.
Or am I? No.
Yeah.
So, actually, we recorded our episode on the Cedarburg Haunt.
Yeah. So that was posted last Monday, and this is the following Monday.
Mm-hmm. And we were actually emailed, or we were
contacted by the Haunt and some of the people working there to come out for a behind-the-scenes lights-on tour of the Cedarburg, the haunt that's put on by the 4-H kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing.
Yeah. I completely agree. It was a fantastic, awesome, just... So I think really to understand it, you need to know a bit more about us. So and I think we've said this in other podcasts, I don't care. I'm going to repeat myself.
Yeah, go for it.
So, like, we kind of grew up with, like, your dad being, like, the Mr. Halloween, pretty much. Like, he had 4 fog machines and, like,
nowhere to actually use them. It didn't make sense. It
didn't matter. He had them. I remember one time he fogged up the basement so bad that like you're at the top of the stairs looking down and it's just fog.
Yes.
That's the whole basement was fog. Honestly, this guy, he was.
He'd be like, "Min,
he
come
was
down
amazing.
here."
Yeah, come down here. I'll show you something.
No,
I can see it from the top of the stairs. I have asthma, Dad. Remember? Yeah, it was so funny. And so he just was like, he just collected things and all kinds of stuff and props and everything you could imagine that was just Halloween and one-offs. And honestly, like, I don't know how he got it all or acquired it all, but it just seemed like...
It's a lifetime of Halloween.
It seems like literally like 50 to 60 years worth of Halloween stuff if you're looking for things. Just amazing. So
we had coffins, we had a guillotine, we had like a surgical table.
Right, we had like a false table, so like you could be laying down with your torso on top of the table, but then your lower half was under the table.
So you could cut people apart.
Right, so you could do like a false body over the person type thing, which we did do.
Yeah, we did make a lot of fun haunted houses.
Right, we had made our own amateur productions.
Yeah.
Right.
Back in our garage for trick-or-treaters when our blocks were doing
nighttime trick-or-treating. Right, yeah, we'd make amateur productions for the families and the kids.
I think we'll make another episode that focuses a lot more on that.
And absolutely.
But that kind of builds the picture of like, we had a lot of Halloween stuff.
We did.
An excessive amount. We had fences, we had chains, we had, you name it, we had it.
Yep.
Severed heads, stuff in plastic, stuff in
bottles. Severed heads, which were certainly not discovered in toilets.
That was the best.
At all.
I took saran wrap and I made...
No, not just saran wrap. The clingware saran wrap.
The saran wrap. And I like made it like a bowl and then put the severed head into the toilet. And so if you went in there to use it, you couldn't because there was a head. So luckily we had 2 bathrooms, but it was really hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
And then like the person that would find it would hide it somewhere else. And it was like find the severed head and move the severed head. Yeah. I grew up really in an awesome house.
As Sue, right? As Sue had mentioned, you were raised the right way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our background, and why that matters is we have kind of like a growth or a foundational, fundamental, just amateur, spooky creation, right? Like just creativity, putting on haunts, putting on scares.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I also want to mention that my dad was super into tech stuff. So computers, wires,
that too,
fog machines, anything like strobe lights,
electrical,
black
lighting,
lights, all of the stuff. He was super into that. And I lost my dad around Halloween back in 2015. And it's just the best way to celebrate him is by doing spooky stuff because he loved it so much. And I was always really scared of it and I couldn't really put on my big girl pants and go into haunted houses and stuff with him. And he would try and go with me, and if I was having problems, he'd actually be the one that went out with me and sat down while I had a panic attack or whatever and was like, it's okay, like, I don't mind just watching people run out of the house and get scared. And, like, everybody else would get to go through, but my dad was like, but I want you to love this. It's not actually scary. And so now I celebrate him by putting myself in super scary stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, yep.
Yeah. So going to the haunt, I don't know if the people working it understand. I'm like getting misty. Like,
it's okay.
How amazing this was to get to see a full-blown haunt that everybody loves and puts together. And then, like, all of the weird, crazy tech stuff that my dad would have loved. Like, it was so special. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for letting me come out.
Yeah. No, and, you know, something, too, is, like, I I knew Mike for a long time too, right?
Yeah.
Obviously not
my dad's name is also Mike.
His name is Mike, and my name is Mike, and the gentleman that also helped out and
with the techie
stuff was named Mike. I mean, it's a great name to have when you're into Halloween and tech stuff, which I'm also into tech stuff as well, and apparently Halloween. So it's a thing, right? If you're a Mike, this is just what you do.
Yeah.
But no, I just
your Uncle Mike too.
I know.
Oh
well, I don't know about Halloween, but
the audio
stuff, for sure. So I would say, I definitely, as we were walking through it, I thought a lot about your dad as well, and I just wish, like, he could be around for this. Like, he would so have appreciated all of it, just, like, and, like, the production of it, too. Like, from the costumes, from the makeup, to the actual building of the walls, to the video camera surveillance,
whole
all
brain
of it.
dump sessions that they have starting in the beginning of like January, where they just talk about Halloween,
building the concept.
January.
It's
January. Like, Christmas is over.
It's time to talk about Halloween. And I remember the one thing I was going to say too, just for context too, like your dad. Literally, there were only 2 holidays. Mm-hmm. There were 2 holidays in your father's calendar year.
Yeah.
The first was his birthday, which was
State Fair,
August 6th,
State Fair.
Wisconsin State Fair. That was holiday number 1. Holiday number 2 was
Halloween.
And then in between was just counting down the days until
the next State Fair,
or Halloween. Yeah. So definitely, we should talk. We should have an episode about that past, but we will definitely say that we relived that.
Yeah.
Doing this, so it was so worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth the time, for us particularly. So thank you very much to the Haunt and Sue and to Mike, for the invitation and I guess the private tour that we got.
Yeah.
Because we certainly were behind. So there's a lights on tour that the Haunt does for small children, pretty much to be like, hey, here's what it looks like. We're not going to scare you. We're not going to have the effects on.
It happens the same time the Ozaki County Jamboree occurs on the county fairgrounds. You can go in for free from, I think, 1 to 4 for kids 10 and under for a small lights-on, non-scary tour of the Haunt, which is so cool because it helps kind of introduce kids into the idea of scary houses at a younger age. Or if you are like 10 and you're like, I wonder if I can do it. Maybe if I see what the lights on, I can go next weekend and check it out.
Or that same night.
Well, no, because it's a Sunday. And the Haunt is open on Fridays and Saturdays. And I think next weekend...
Thanks for correcting the record, hon.
Yeah. So I think that's so cool. So we were invited to come out on a small tour, but then an additional behind-the-scenes special sort of tour for us.
Kind of impromptu. But that's not the normal one.
Yeah. So we actually got to go, like, check out the catwalk and stuff, and it was so cool. I never imagined being able to go up and look down at a haunted house setup that was done by all of these people and kids and stuff that just... They're all into this place, and to like actually see the mazes and all these different rooms and the tarps covering whatever ceilings and stuff, and so cool.
The thing that
and plus all the lighting and stuff up there, all the additional tech stuff.
The thing that got me where I could really appreciate from our own like small scale productions is just the level of detail, right? You think like, okay, it's a house. You jump out and you scare someone. Yeah. Well, you got to have like the rooms, and they need to be in theme, and then you have to have like what they call the soft walls. You need to have the ability for the scare actors to move in and out. Yeah. They can't have a scare actor leave the house where you leave the house. That ruins it. So just like the false walls and all these other things and the secret ways around stuff. And then especially with the tech aspect. So with the video surveillance and where it all goes back to, like, the hub, the centralized computer zone, right? And Yellowstone, as they called it. And then also, too, the just the power, running the power from here to there, and how to kill the circuits and this and that. It takes
so much work and so much thought.
And the rain. Right? The system of the giant barrels of water and the truck that has the trigger. Yes. Right. Oh, or maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe there isn't a truck.
Maybe there isn't.
I don't know. Sorry, not trying to ruin anything. A spoiler alert. Yeah. No, it's just... It's so cool because there's just all the things from like painting walls, through wiring, through observing to make sure that people are staying in line and in the good spirit of the event, to selling the tickets, to walking people through, to scaring, to makeup, to props. Like, there's just so...
Like, I already knew it took a lot of work and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, to really talk to the people that do it
and
like
take the time
to do this for months of their year. Like, it's just,
I know,
it's so cool and so crazy, and like,
and it's so admirable and worth doing. Yeah
And then we found out too that even through one season, things could be changing weekend to weekend, because sometimes they want to fix things or change things or add something that they just didn't have time. So, like, you can go in the same season to the haunt and find different new things every time you go through. And every year it's a different theme. So it's just so
That's
cool.
Right. Every year is different.
They just tear it all down and then they'll throw something new back up.
Not necessarily all of it.
Well, they won't. Like,
but yes.
And oh my gosh, you guys, I found out that they were using real leaves and foliage and stuff and corn in this house. And that's why it smelled
like dead, rotting plants.
Yes, I loved it. I love that it's real.
Oh.
Like, some of it's real.
Speaking of real.
What?
There may be actual real tombstones.
Oh my gosh, yes, there's real tombstones and stuff. There's just so many really cool stuff that you just wouldn't know about, you know? Yeah. Like, and I could have stayed there forever and learned more and more about all the things that they had in this house. It was just so interesting to me, but I was like, I know I need to go because we didn't eat lunch. Like,
right. Yeah. We did wake up a little late and eat breakfast, but that was how many hours ago by now?
Yeah.
Well, another thing, too, is we didn't want to, also inconvenience or monopolize the time of these people who are already a volunteer base.
Yeah.
Right? To just talk to us. But you can tell, like, the people that we talked to were passionate about it because they were taking the time out of their Sunday when the Packers were playing to come talk to us about something spooky.
Go Pack, go.
Oh, go Pack, go. Yeah, so, they talked about, putting on this production, and it was just, it was a lot of fun and really awesome, I think, uniquely for us, but also, too, for a general audience to go through with the lights on. It's great. It's a good experience, but what we were treated to, I think, was, it was awesome. Yeah. It was really awesome. It was not expected.
No.
Put it that way. It was not expected at all. But I'm so glad it happened the way it did. And I'm so glad that we were able to see what we did, and that people were just so good to indulge us. And, they even laughed at my jokes. It was really nice. So it was really cool, and it made me think about things in a way that I just really haven't for a couple of years, because
I know.
Things happen and it gets difficult, and you just sometimes you don't think about things because it's a little painful too.
Yeah.
But it was awesome to be reminded of the fun that can be had just by scaring someone.
I know. My dad was such a big fan of this stuff.
He really was.
I know that he was probably with us while we were there.
Oh, of course.
Especially in Yellowstone when we were looking at all the computers and the recorders and all this stuff. And I'm just like, it'd be so cool. My dad would think that what I'm doing right now, like doing all this spooky stuff, is so cool. And yeah, I mean, it's just, thank you again to the Haunt. All the people there are so amazing. It's such a good cause to go and support as well. All this money that the Haunt raises too, $5,000 of it go to scholarships that kids can earn specifically from the Haunt, and super cool. They get it presented to them if they get it on a tombstone.
Yep.
How freaking cool is that? That's so cool. And then another $5,000 goes to I think the other locations, and
the other, so like I think they said there were 12 4-H clubs.
Yeah, it's the other clubs.
Yeah,
and
so like they get it gets divvied up based on like hours of participation. So like the clubs volunteer their hours, and then however much profits are made or reinvested back into the groups based on the hours that they put in. Yeah,
and then anything over that goes into the community fund.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, pretty much all of it goes
right back into this program.
Right back in, right?
So cool.
It's one of those things where you can't feel guilty about spending money on it, because really it's just the price of admission, or a hot chocolate or a hot dog while you're waiting in line, right?
Or cider, whoop whoop.
Right, or cider.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to like an honorable cause, or like a, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It goes back to the community pretty much. So
yeah, I can't recommend this haunted house enough. If you still haven't gone to one, you don't know what to do, 100% go to the haunt in Cedarburg. Plus, you also get to go to Cedarburg, which is just an adorable town anyways.
It's super cute.
Make a whole night of it.
Right.
Like, just go enjoy your time in Cedarburg. Go see the haunt, and try not to panic too much in those horribly dark corridors, which we finally got to see a lot of stuff with lights on. And I did take some pictures that I'm going to share on our Instagram at Spooky Time with Mike and Mindy. But it was really nice being able to go through the tunnels with a flashlight this time and to actually see the dark mazes and stuff. And
right. No, it really was. Well, another thing too is also to the precautionary methods or measures that they put into place as well, because they had cardboard covering some of the wood parts that you'd be touching, so to make it a little bit softer, a little bit safer. So
or just feel weird.
Or that. So I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, including safety and comfort as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's one of those things where you can't feel guilty or bad about it. You cannot feel guilty or bad about spending the money to do this.
Yeah.
You can't, because it's put on by people who are just living their passion of having fun or using their skills, either professionally or in amateur capacity, those skills, and putting it towards something that gives back to the community and to the kids that put on the show. So it's not just it's not all run by adults, right? I mean, the focus...
They try to let the youth really take ownership of the haunt, which is so cool. And I love it. Like, all of this really came out of just a bunch of crazy ideas, and there's now this entire haunted house that people built and put together and work at every weekend in October and stuff, and it's just awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think seeing all the background stuff pretty much just solidified how awesome it is to know. So many people have just put so much time and effort and energy into it, and I think it paid off, because one of the things too is not knowing everything that went into making it, just going through it as a paying customer, nothing special about it. I'm just, a regular old Joe going through it.
Yeah.
It was well done.
Yeah.
And they did a good job.
Yeah.
You could tell. And I think we mentioned that in our first podcast about it, that they just, it was well done.
Yeah.
You could tell that every scare actor in it was into it, and the effects were there and they were good.
Yeah.
Speaking of effects, sorry, I would be remiss if we didn't clarify
the lightning.
The lightning, we understand now. So the lightning was that there's the technology behind it is that there's a way to tie in the sound with the light.
Yes.
So the light,
so strobe lights,
right? These strobe lights are timed to the sound hitting certain levels.
Yeah.
And
they play a soundtrack of a thunderstorm.
Right.
And so every time it hits a certain level, everything is linked up together to make lightning. And I wish that we had more time to go back to the haunt to go through again, because now I feel like I could even really enjoy it even more, knowing all these smaller details that I missed the first time.
And part of that is just building the level of creep or the ambiance, right? Because we mentioned that too. We were talking to some of them as well. Your attention obviously is split.
Yeah.
And you are taking in so much information, right? That your brain has to try and understand. And sometimes the scare actors will be right in your face. Well, obviously that gets all of your attention.
Right.
If someone's right in front of your face and they're scary, they have your undivided attention.
Right.
So you're not going to notice necessarily the lightning coordinated up, or this jar, the jars, the jars. Oh my God, the jars!
I know.
Oh,
there are so many really creepy jars in the haunt.
Yes.
And you are
keep an eye out for the jars. You never know what you're gonna find in them. And
oh my gosh.
I don't want to ruin it, but like
I do have one picture of them. But
that's the only sound I'm gonna make. To some of them.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah. So it's just I don't know. It was a really fun, awesome experience and a great, fun, awesome local thing that's community run, but also in profit for the community.
Yeah.
So it's just a unique thing where it's there, run by the people and financing the people, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's great.
Yeah. Well, we could probably go on and on and on about this.
We could, but I mean, we won't give it all away, right?
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Yeah, we have some spoilers of like what we went through and stuff in the other episodes.
And
so if you want to know,
tried to keep it under wraps here a little bit.
Yeah.
So definitely go check it out.
Yes.
I think it's something that's so worth going to and deserving of it, and just really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we both recommend it. The people that work there are awesome. It's a good cause. We're going to stop rambling now about how awesome it is.
I mean, we could just keep repeating ourselves.
It's so awesome.
No, we're going to stop. No, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Go check it out.
Thanks for, thanks to The Haunt for being super awesome. And I did want to say, congratulations, Mike. We are over 1,000 downloads, probably even more now, because I saw that like over a week and a half ago that we hit over 1,000 downloads.
You guys.
So thank you, listeners, because I never expected that many people to listen to us.
Well,
so,
the 1,000 downloads were me, right?
Oh, yeah. We're just listening
we
to
downloaded
ourselves.
it. Yeah, I know. I'm kidding.
So thank you, listeners. Thank you, The Haunt. Thank you, us, because...
Yay.
Awesome. This is so awesome. So stay spooky, spookers.